Eric.
Over into America then, we had Stephen Fulton versus Daniel Roman. Alex, we'll come to you first on this one. Give us your thoughts on the performance and our predictions from last time.
Yes, so I did have a prediction. I thought Daniel Roman was going to be the smarter fighter and with his technical ability, be able to control Fulton. And that just was not the case at all. Fulton moved gracefully in there. His jab was so fast. Whenever he wanted to, he could counter Daniel Roman. He could be first, and he could take the fight to wherever he wanted. If he wanted to push Danny back, if he wanted to bring him in for the counter. It was quite a performance, and definitely am very interested to see what Fulton does from here.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely one to keep an eye on. I thought it was going to be a lot closer than it was, and Roman had a good chance. I've always liked watching Roman when he's fighting. He's a nice boxer, but he was just outmatched, wasn't he? This time he was too good for him, Fulton. It'll still be interesting to see where both of them go and the next fight's coming up. I think all of us kind of only caught maybe 3/4 of that fight, or 2/3, because we're all keeping an eye on what was going on over in Australia. Was that the case for you, Josh? Did you catch this fight? What did you make of the performance that you saw?
Yeah, I was watching it as like the primary fight on my television up until probably about the ninth round. Then I switched it to the computer as I started the Haney fight, and I share the same sentiments that Alex had mentioned as well. As far as Fulton, he just looked good. He's just getting better, and you can tell he's been really working on his game because he was able to take out Rahman and really, you could say, dominated that fight in moments just with his movement. He was very fleet of foot in there, and Rahman, he had him just kind of pressing forward, unable to really get his feet set to land anything, and I think that was part of the problem. But I have to give Fulton props because he's taken on some interesting styles here, because that's a very different style than, say, Brandon Figueroa, and the way he was able to get that win, now picking up this over Danny Roman. He seems to be adapting well towards any style, so definitely the future is bright for him. And if he continues to improve, he's going to make for some even bigger fights here as we move forward.
Yeah, definitely. So quickly on the undercard to that, we saw David Morrell beat Calvin Henderson. I know that was early. I can't remember what round, possibly 4. Good performance again. As one that's had a few fights. He looks really good, and I think he's Cuban, so another Cuban to look out for. Josh, did you catch this one as well? I guess you did, if that was the main one you were watching up until that point.
Yes, David Morrell. I was saying this earlier that I think that he is one of these guys who, even just being 7 fights in, I think he's ready for the tops of the division. I know some people feel differently about that because of the fact that he's still young and still has room to improve and all that stuff, but he's going to be game for a David Benavidez if he's in there with him. And some probably don't think he's ready for a Canelo, but I think he's going to be game for a Canelo if he's in there with him. You can see he has wrinkles to his game, and I think that if he continues to improve, and we'll see what happens as far as where Canelo tends to stick around or where Benavidez ultimately ends up going. But I think I could see him being the man at 168 pounds, all things considered. So great performance by him. I thought the fight could have been stopped around earlier than it did, but he showed up in a major way each time he's been on television, and he's shown that he's the type of fighter that he will deliver the action, because he could have taken it easier in there with the guy who was more defensive. He could have boxed his way through, but he was really pushing for that knockout, and he got it. He got that stoppage. So big ups to David Morrell.
Yeah, it did. Alex, I know you're having a couple of internet issues, possibly. Did you manage to catch this fight, or did you make of Morrell?
Most definitely. David Morrell has been on my radar for past couple years. I was really trying to focus on this fight because he was speaking about facing David Benavidez. I have to admit I'm a little let down because of the way he chose this fight, how to fight it. I was hoping to see more of a boxer first mentality. He attempted to run through Henderson, and that is what he did. I just would like to see more preparation for a high level fight, working more into your shots instead of forcing them. But at the end of the day, he got the job done and pulled out another victory by KO.
Yeah, and there's not much more you can do than that, I guess. So, yeah, great performance